Hey, do you think she wants to come with us?
I don't know. I'll ask her.
Where? Hey, did you see the way to go?
The way to go where?
Hey, my wife just went on holiday to the Caribbean.
Ah, Jamaica.
No, she wanted to go.
What?
Hello Internet, welcome back to Daniel's Online English. In today's video, we are going to investigate what was the source of confusion that the two people, one person, was experiencing in the introduction to this video. Well, as you may have guessed from the title of today's video, the reason for this confusion is the phenomena known as weak forms. So, a good place to start could be with the question, what is a weak form? Weak forms are part of English that we English teachers sometimes refer to as connected speech. Connected speech being the idea that not every word is said with the same stress and with the same speed. Why? Well, for a start, to me it doesn't sound very natural. I have no understanding of what the speaker thinks are the more important words, and secondly, it's just really slow. So what happens is that native speakers change the way they pronounce some words in order to speed up their rate of speaking and also to give emphasis to the words which they believe are more important. One example of this change is weak forms. Weak forms occur when the vowel sound inside a word is changed to be a schwa. If you're not familiar with what the schwa is, it's time to become familiar. In this video, you're going to see it a lot. And well, once you're familiar with this sound, you will start to notice it in English a lot. You may think of the schwa as the universal vowel sound of English, and it is indeed the vowel sound that occurs the most in spoken English. It is an unstressed vowel sound, and it can be used to replace pretty much any vowel sound you can imagine. It sounds something like this. Uh. You can see by my entertained and alert looking face that I'm really putting a lot of thought and energy and stress into this vowel sound. No, I'm not. I'm doing the complete opposite of all of those things. That is the point, and that is the use of the schwa. It's kind of a placeholder. It takes the place of other vowel sounds when we really don't care about those vowel sounds. We just want to use a nice, easy, simple sound that can let us get to the next sound as quickly as possible. That, with your mouth open and not too much air coming out, is Let's look at the examples from the introduction to this video, and let's see where the weak forms were used and the confusion that caused.
I don't know. I'll ask her.
Here, the problem occurred because of the use of the weak form of the word her. Here, the speaker actually said something more like her. And when combined with the rest of the sentence, it became Alaska. I'll ask her. I will ask her. Alaska. Alaska. You can see this has been used for comedic effect, but it is possible to have this kind of confusion. Hey, did you see the way to go? Here, the problem has occurred because of the use of the word to. In fact, the speaker used the weak form t. And again, when combined with the rest of the sentence, it sounded like, did you see the waiter go? Did you see the way to go?
Ah, Jamaica.
Okay, and in this last example, it's an example of a joke that's older than me and older than the internet. It was Jamaica. Did you make her? In connected speech, it is possible it will sound like Jamaica. Did you make her? So we've got numerous weak forms inside this one sentence. Did you has become j, j, Jamaica, her, Jamaica, her, Jamaica. Did you make her? Jamaica? So what do these words have in common? Is there a way that we can predict which words will be a strong form and which will be a weak? Well, yes and no. People have options when they are producing sentences. They can choose to use a strong form or choose to use a weak form. Often it depends on the intention of the speaker. Next, I'm going to play you some examples taken from the BBC. So you don't have to listen to me anymore, you can listen to some other people paid to talk nonsense. In these examples, I have added a transcription in the video, so you can read and try to place where the weak forms have been used in these sentences. See if you can spot why they have chosen to use a weak form in these particular examples. Why would they choose to use a soft, fast, weak pronunciation instead of the strong pronunciation that is also possible?
It's on a lot of things.
So I'm not sure how allured anyone would have felt.
A historian with an unhealthy interest in court politics and intrigue.
Louis added additions that are still known as the envelope.
He promised him he could go on running his kingdom just as before.
Then they took the Cape of Good Hope at the bottom of Africa.
It must have been an absolutely appalling scene.
I don't know why he called me, but I just think I was there, you know?
But you knitted one that Aidan can have.
But all the troops you could hire could never control such a huge country. What does that mean?
That's for you from Angela. Thank you very much, Angela. This is from Series 4.
The pretense of British rule had been shattered.
She doesn't watch the show herself.
Have you been a member here a very long time?
To give him his good morning kiss.
I don't think you have to apologise for that.
We should be buried alive.
Did you not knit some grass, Angela?
Better than any other. It was the empire on which the sun never set. And to divide the world between them. There were 10 Europeans dying every day.
Yes.
And you were saying that she loves to knit.
You will have a head-on collision with reality. Was the grandest showing off of empire Britain would ever see.
This is your outfit from Series 4.
Okay, well, there you have some examples, and I have to stress that this video only represents some examples of the use of weak forms. In fact, there are many, it's numerous. But I hope that you could see that in common, when the speaker chose to use the weak forms in their sentences, it was because they were making space in their sentences for the important words. You might think of speaking English sometimes for native speakers like a race to reach the important words of the sentence. The other words are there for grammar. They're not there so much to convey meaning, and if we could leave them out of the sentence and still make sense, perhaps we would. But convention tells us we can't leave these words out of the sentence, so we leave them in. But we leave them in with a weak form of the pronunciation that allows us to quickly progress to what we think is more important. Well, stay tuned for my next video because I'm going to give some side-by-side examples of strong forms and weak forms so you can just get used to the pronunciation of both. That's all for now though. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.